It's it's our favorite. It's the two sports of Montreal: watching the Canadiens and talking about the Canadiens. And we're
No,
talking
exactly.
about the Canadiens with Brendan Kelly of the Montreal Gazette. I don't want to keep you for too much longer, so let's talk about. It's a good segue. You talk about the '70s. Is this guy going to help bring the Canadiens back to the glory days of the '70s? Can we talk about the phenom that is Ivan Demidov? Like, holy shnikes, every game that goes by for St. Petersburg in the KHL, where the last numbers I saw, he's got 12 goals after 39 games and 29 points. And BK, I saw him score an unbelievable goal the other day
Right.
for his side. Like, the execution, the speed, the finish, like
It's
Mitch Gallo.
exciting. I mean, I don't know if you were thinking of that goal, but there was the one where he smashed into the defenseman. The puck went to his teammate, and then he got
Yeah,
it
yeah.
to Demidov, and he just roofed it. And
Oh
it's
my
like,
gosh.
it's incredibly exciting. And, I mean, you always got to wait to see. But I mean, people are literally, and Mitchkov's tearing it up in the NHL, and people are saying this guy is way better than Mitchkov.
Yeah.
And what a story! Like, it's this strange story. So he was getting terrible ice time in St. Petersburg under the coaching of this oligarch, Roman Rotenberg, apparently part of the inner circle or fairly close to Putin, and has never coached a hockey team before. And I
Yes.
still haven't really heard, and it's so hard to really get a read on what's going on in the KHL.
Yeah.
It was unclear why they were treating Demidov so badly and giving him such little ice time, because every time he's on the ice, he was doing incredible things. But ever since Kent Hughes made that controversial trip to Russia, they tried to keep it under wraps, didn't tell people he was going. And then there was a photo published of Vincent Lecavalier, who's one of the advisors to Kent Hughes and the Canadiens, and Kent Hughes with Rotenberg, and it was very controversial because Rotenberg's a controversial figure. And on top of that, he then Rotenberg published something on Telegram, the sort of Twitter or the X of Russia, saying, oh yeah, Kent Hughes was here. And he says, oh, we've got to get Russia back into international hockey tournaments as soon as possible. And it's like, yeah, I don't think he said that. I mean,
Right.
who knows? Or maybe Rotenberg said that, and Kent's like,
Yeah.
yeah, sure,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, can
Yeah.
I go see
Yeah.
can I go see Demidov? And more importantly, can I make sure that Demidov turns up in Montreal this summer, and that you don't cause any trouble for him? But interestingly enough, ever since that visit, he's getting more ice time. So I don't know what went on in those conversations. And with the more ice time, he's getting these results. And, to go back to the question about the '70s, I mean, the crazy thing about the Canadiens, it's been a sort of thing that's been driving me crazy amongst, many other things for years now, is the team has not had scoring stars, like genuinely exciting scoring stars. So that was the thing in the '70s. I mean, we talk about Guy Lafleur, of course, one of the greatest scoring stars ever, but there was Steve Shutt scoring 60 goals a year. And then even into the '80s, Stéphane Richer scoring 50 in 2 seasons, and Matt Snaslin. But ever since then, and certainly since the '93 Cup win, there has been a total lack of that. I mean, it's absolutely nutty. Like, it's when you don't have, I've always thought it's so weird. Like, you would think just by chance every 15 years you would fall upon someone who's like a Draisaitl, or maybe not even a Draisaitl. I mean, just someone who could score 40 goals, and
Exactly.
Pat has scored close to 40, but frankly, he was such a boring player. I mean, you just didn't get excited about Max Pacioretty.
Nope.
Kovalev, of course, is the other example, but Kovalev was different because it was the end of his career, and he had one truly great season, the one where he got about 90 points.
Yeah.
But he was not in his prime. He'd had his great years with New York and Pittsburgh. So the concept that this could be coming down the line, and I mean, think about this, Shaun. Imagine if Demidov comes to the NHL and transfers to the NHL what he's doing in the KHL, and he's there with his first year next year, and Lane Hutson's in his second year. And I mean, Lane Hutson breaking record after record, rookie of the month, the last month in the NHL. Oh my God. I mean, like, you tell me, when is the last time that you had 2 players, not that you picked up in a trade, when later on with Montreal used to be the place you get the players late when they've already peaked. two players that you've got, like part of your system that you've drafted, that are just starting out that look to be elite players. Like, it hasn't happened in 30 years.
I mean, again, I'll cite my age again. I'm 46 years old. I have known goaltenders to be the star, the heartbeat.
Exactly.
The reason why the Canadians do anything of substance is because of 33 or what was Theodore, 60, 61, whatever.
60.
Theodore, yeah, winning an MVP. Carey Price winning an MVP, right? It's been those guys as the raison d'etre the Canadians did anything
But it's just
substantial
not the
in
same thing,
meaningful hockey.
but the problem with that is, and you know what? Ever since Ken Dryden, there's been a thing of it's always about the goalie and building everything around the goalie, and it was never built around Ken Dryden. I mean, he was
No,
absolutely stunning,
no.
of course, but like, look at the team the guy had. But you can't go to a rink and celebrate the play of a goalie the way you can celebrating the play of someone like a Demidov or someone like a Guy Lafleur.
Well,
I
to
mean,
your point, listen, dude. I mean, Lane Hudson is on pace for a 57-point season. Like I will bet Brendan Kelly $10 that if Lane Hudson gets over 50 points this year, he will win Rookie of the Year. I don't give a bleep what Michkov does.
you
I
think
don't
so,
care.
right?
If a rookie defenseman on a team like Montreal, competitively speaking, playing over 22 minutes, he plays over 22 minutes a night. And if he gets over 50 points by a defenseman, I would lock that in. I don't think unless Michkov's got to drop 50. He's got to score 50 goals. He's got to get 100-something points, I think, to
I
pass
think
Lane
still
Hudson.
probably wins it, but the level of excitement about Lane Hudson and the thing that's crazy about him, and this is why, we shouldn't cut any slack for Uri Slafkovsky because he's in his third season. Here's a guy's played 3 months of hockey in Lane Hudson, and he looks like he's been playing for 3 or 4 years.
No, it's crazy
in the league. And sure, he makes defensive mistakes, but so does everyone. And he takes chances. And I love he doesn't back down. And this is like to have two exciting players like these guys, Demidov and Hudson. And you know what? And I was just thinking, because we're talking about excitement. I mean, we kind of like we're into this funny thing where we just kind of take Cole Caulfield for granted. But man, did you see that shootout? Well, firstly, his goal, but also his shootout goal. I mean, the guy's shot is like, it's crazy. I mean,
it's elite. It's elite.
He's just standing there in front of the goalie, and so he's on a pace for what, 42 or something at this point. I mean,
he's right. Yeah, he's right there. He's right there. Yeah, what he's on 21 now. So they've played. Yeah, so they've played 30. They've played 39 games. So
he's up for around early 40s, and again,
so I would say that's a 44 goal pace season right now.
And the last guy to get 40 was Vinny, I guess.
Vinny Danfus, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In 95, 94. So,
like you said, I like what you're saying. Like I got heat for this years ago when I said, I've never run into anybody that said Max Pacioretty's their favorite player, like no disrespect, but
no disrespect, but a little disrespect. I mean, you know what? I mean, it was, and you know what? He was a bit of a whipping boy for fans and in the end for management. And listen, he seems like a great guy. And
you watch Cole Caulfield, you see the reaction when he scored that goal, man. I mean, this guy's got attitude, he's got swagger, he scores from angles, he's got so much confidence.
He's just a kid, Shaun. He's scoring all these goals, and frankly, he's consistently doing it. And he is a better all-round player than he was before, where he literally just scored goals. And it's exciting. I mean, there's again, we say Hudson and Demidov. So what is Hudson, Demidov, and Cole Caulfield? Like 3 stars like that, young stars. I mean, haven't seen anything like that for a long time.
And what seems to be very good depth, like a high ceiling for Michael Hayes, Owen Beck. What I've been told by people that follow the American Hockey League and the Laval Rockets specifically, Owen Beck is a Jake Evans with better scoring.
Right.
I mean, the one devastating thing here to put a damper on what is a very sunny segment here is what I think is devastating is the Reinbacher injury. We spoke earlier about injuries, the fact that in what is a huge developmental year for a guy like him, the fact that he lost an entire season, and I've more or less resigned myself, Brendan. If 3 years from now we're talking about Reinbacher playing 24 minutes a night, I think that will be a winning pick by Ken Hughes. But that's kind of where I'm at mentally with. If he plays 24 minutes a night, the Canadiens have a special player.
No, and I mean the thing is that is, you know, because we've been you know, and you have to. We're questioning the Slafkovsky pick. I mean, I still believe in him, but it might not work out to the level of what we thought. And what if it turns out the Reinbacker doesn't work out to the level that
Oh, I
we
can't
hope?
handle
This
that.
is a number 5 pick, and keep
I
in
know.
mind that, and
Correct.
it's devastating. He's lost this whole year. It's just an absolute fluke. It's just
Yeah. Yeah.
crap
Crushing.
happens.
Crushing.
But he lost last year too. He was injured last year, but also was in a head case team. And it was so the development of this guy has really almost couldn't be any worse. And you don't, so who knows how that'll turn out? It's a huge question mark. And you know, when you have, like, you can't mess up those kind of picks. You know, you had
Agreed.
a number 1 and 2 number 5s. And if 2 of the 3 don't work out, which is possible, I mean, and we're just assuming Demidov's a superstar, but you know, when you get high level picks that don't work out, and you think of Bergevin, where there were 2 number 3 picks that both turned out to be duds for the Canadiens, at least. You know, so yeah, the Reinbacker is the one dark cloud, and you feel terrible for the guy. I mean, honestly,
For sure. He's
just
so
imagine
young. He's so young.
he's sitting there looking at the team, and he's not part of this. It's tough.
Brendan Kelly from the Montreal Gazette. Follow him online at Brendan Showbiz. Brendan, thank you so much as always. Go pick up his book at Amazon.ca or Archambault Books, wherever you like to get your literature. Can I get it on my Kindle?
No, you can't. That's a good
Not
question.
coming?
You know what? I'll get back to you. I should know the answer to that question.
Get your publicist on the phone.
You can, actually. I think you can.
The Kindle, I love the Kindle.
But you know what? You can get it anywhere. You can even get it at Indigo, which we think of more as an English bookstore, but they have plenty of French. And they have my book, and I appreciate the plug, Shaun, and I appreciate the conversation. Super happy to do it. Anytime you want to redo it, you know where to find me.
Good stuff. Let's do it again soon, BK. Thanks.
Okay, thanks, Shaun. See you later, man.